Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly, as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please let me know. Hello everyone, I hope that I'm live right now, guys. If you guys are able to listen to me properly, as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please let me know, guys. Omkar, sorry to say, but I think so. You guys will also be able to understand that it is not going to be a 7 days boot camp. It is going to be approximately 8 to 9 days of boot camp that we'll have to do because the project is really very huge. And we need to understand each and every concept, each and every line of code while coding the project, right? Today, even though we are starting out with the project, the project is really very big, guys. It is going to take us a little bit time to complete the project. Okay, so be ready. It is not going to be a 7 days boot camp, but maybe 8 or 9 days of boot camp, and a lot of new topics and a lot of new things are going to be introduced to you guys. So be ready for that as well. Okay. Nevertheless, guys, how's your day? How was your day, guys? How was your day? Please let me know. How was the day, guys? Please let me know. Good, nice, great, amazing. I know that many of you guys might be watching the India versus Australia match. Even I watched the entire Australian series itself. But I am currently missing out the Indian batting line that is currently happening. So do let me know the updates if something happens. Maybe the runs are going pretty well. I don't know. I have not seen it yet. So do let me know that as well, guys, because I'm there in the boot camp. I can't see the score or anything right now. Okay. Nevertheless, guys, we'll start with our project from today's class. The project is going to be really big. Okay, so shall we start with good evening, sir. Didn't receive any calls from DevTown. See, Rage Origins Gaming, if you're enrolled for the Campus Ambassador program, like I've already said, there are almost 1,500 students who have applied for Campus Ambassador. 1,500 students have applied from Campus Ambassador, guys. So it will take us 3 days to reach out to every single one of the students. I think so. Some of you guys might have already got your calls as well for the first task of your Campus Ambassador program. So those who have received it, please do make sure that you are able to complete the task as soon as possible. The sooner that you complete, the sooner we will be able to release your certificates as well as your access to the program as well. Okay, so please do that. Secondly, guys, let's look at the project right now. Shall we look at the project, guys? Please let me know. Shall we look at the project, guys? Okay, India is at 90 for 3. How many overs completed? Are students receiving calls alphabetically? I don't know, man. That is not something that even I know. It is randomized itself. So the leads get distributed to each and every teams that we are having. Some goes to the hiring team, some goes to the marketing team, some goes to the design team, some goes to the content team. So different teams get different things. Okay, 23.2 overs, 90 runs. I hope that they will be able to come back stronger in the second half and they win. But it has been a fact that whenever India wins the first match, they don't win the World Cup. So like, let's see how it happens. Okay. Nevertheless, guys, let us first see the project, guys. Shall we first see what project are we going to build? Please let me know. Shall we first see what project are we going to build, guys? Please let me know. Shall we see the first project that the only project that we are going to build, guys? Okay, so let us look at the project. I have brought the entire project code with me right over here, so that I've coded the entire project yesterday night. I made sure that everything is working absolutely fine. There is no issues with the project anyhow. And this is the project that we are going to code. As we are able to see, it is somewhere around 110 lines of code that we have to write. Not a lot, but still, we have to understand each and every line. So it is going to take us a little bit time, guys. So let us run this code and let's see what happens, right? So I'll just connect myself to the server. Again, we are going to write this code from the utmost scratch, from the basics, guys. For each and every line of code, we are going to understand. This is just the final product that we are going to see, so that you guys are able to understand what we are building. Okay, because that is also important for us, right? And let me open up your chat on my screen, guys, because I'm not able to see shit right over here. So let me open up my chat. Pop up chat. Put it up on the left hand side. Put this up on the right hand side. Oh shit. Again, let's do that. Put this up on the left hand side. Put this up on the right hand side. close this up a little bit. Okay, so right over here, guys, this is the code. I'm just going to run it once. And let's start with our game, guys. So as you're able to see on your screen, it is asking that whether you want to go for a single player game or a multiplayer game. So the code, I'm currently running the final project, guys. As you're able to see, it is first asking that enter 1 if you want to play single player, that is you want to play against a computer. Enter 2 for multiplayer, that is you want to play against your friend or something. So two players want to play against each other. Both I've coded it right over here, guys. So you can play against the AI, you can play against your friend as well. Both is possible. For us, we want to play against the AI, right? So let us choose 1, guys. We'll enter 1 inside of right over here. So 1. So computer is 0 and we are X. Do we want to play first or second, guys? You let me know. So so computer is 0, we are X, guys. Please do remember that this is a very important detail that the computer is 0 and we are X. Okay, but we can choose whether we want to go first or second. So I'm able to see many of the ones are coming up on my screen. So we'll go first. So this is the current state of the board. Like I said, the game state. What is the current state of the board? Originally, the board is completely empty, as we are able to see. All these dashes basically denote that there is nobody has played any chances right over there. Okay, so the board is currently empty. It is our first particular like chance. Now each of these positions can be like I've linked it to a number. For example, the first particular position, this first dash is 1, then it is 2, then it is 3, then it is 4, then it is 5, then it is 6, then it is 7, then it is 8, then it is 9. Each of these dashes I've numbered it as 1 to 9 so that it's easy for us to select at what particular position we want to place our X at. So you guys let me know at which particular position should we place our X at, guys. At which particular position should we place our X? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, guys. Okay, pending for 2 minutes, reloading my fix the problem. I'm able to see most of you guys are writing 5, so I'm going to go with 5 itself, guys. So I'm taking up my first chance by putting up the X at 5. As you're able to see, the current state of the game is that I place my X at the middle particular position, that is 5, and the computer, that is the AI, has placed its 0 at the first particular position, guys. Now you guys let me know where should I put my next particular X. This is the current state of the game, guys. Our computer has placed its own chance. We have played our own chance. It is again our own chance, guys. At what particular position should we place our X at? How we will know it is 1, 2, 3? Because I'm the one who coded the entire thing. That is the reason why. And usually it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you are a normal human being. If you are an alien, then you will count it in some other direction. But a normal human being counts it in this particular direction itself. I'm able to see most of you guys are writing 3. So I'll go further with 3 itself. So I've played my chance, guys. I have no other option. Computer has placed its O right over here. So I'll have to play my X at this particular position itself, guys. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So I will have to play my X at 4 position because I can't allow the computer to win. That 4th position I will play my X at. According to that, the computer has played it at O. Now, wherever we put, we are already lost. It's a draw itself, guys. So even if we, so where should I put my X at right now, guys? Where should I put my X at right now? You guys let me know. Where should I put my X at right now, guys? Please let me know. Why not from 0? We are coders da. So aesthetic gaming, inside of the code, we are actually using the indexes from 0 itself. But for a non-coder, you're giving this game to a non-coder to play. So he doesn't know that. He will be starting to count from 1, right? So many of you guys are saying 2. So we'll go over with 2. And yeah, so the last particular place is 9. We have no other option. So 9. And as you're able to see, the game has ended, guys, and it's a draw. This is the final state of the board, and we got a draw. So in any of the cases, you will not be able to win, guys. Either it will be a draw or the computer will be winning. That is the AI that we have created, no matter how much you try. But yeah, are you guys able to understand the game that we have created right over here, guys? Are you guys able to understand the game that we have created right over here, guys? Please let me know. This is a small demo of the project that we are going to create, guys. I wanted you guys to understand the project properly so that you guys are not facing any kind of problems right over here. Okay. So let's do one thing. Let us start with the project. A lot of emails that I've received. I don't know why. Who is sending me so many emails? Okay. What if we win? Then that's great. You are more intelligent than an AI. I will suggest that. But yeah, it is literally impossible. The AI actually knows everything, all the game moves. You will always choose a particular direction in which you are either going to lose or you're going to have a draw. It will never allow you to go into a direction wherein you are going to win. There is no direction like that. Okay. Nevertheless, guys, shall we start with our today's class, guys? Let me start coding right now. 25 overs, 96 runs, current score. Okay, thank you so much for updating me on that. I really love you guys. Okay, so we'll start with our project right now, guys. Let me open up my own collaboratory. We'll just open up a new notebook itself. A blank notebook we are going to open up and use it right over here. Now, please try to understand this. In this particular project, there are multiple different things that we will have to check. For example, after every particular chance, okay, the user one makes a chance, okay, the user one makes a move, you place your x at the middle particular position. After every chance, the computer has to check whether somebody has won or not. Am I right or wrong, guys? After every chance, somebody would have to check whether somebody has won or not. Am I right or wrong, guys? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? After every chance, somebody will have to check, okay, who has won. Okay. So these small things, every single time, instead of writing this code out, wouldn't it be better if we are able to name this particular code as check who won? Okay, we'll call this particular small piece of code which checks that, okay, if somebody has won or not, like check who won. And every time that we need to check who has won, we'll just mention that, okay, run this particular 3 lines of code called as check who has run, and give me the answer if one has won or two has won, or if it's still nobody has won up to this point of time. It would have been better for us, right? Just like variables exist inside of programming, you have something called as functions. Just like variables are nicknames to the value they represent. It is like calling me as a fat Kariminati. Okay, it's a nickname for me, right? It refers to me at the end of the day. It has me as its value inside of it, right? In a similar manner, you are having variables. Variables are just nicknames to the values they represent. Instead of using those values again and again, you are referring to them by their nicknames. In a similar manner, functions are just like variables but for coding. Okay, these functions are basically nicknames for a certain piece of code. So instead of writing that code again and again, like 3 lines, 4 lines, 10 lines of code again and again, you can just call that function. You can just tell that, okay, the function that has this particular name, run it. So it will run all the code present inside of it. Okay, a notebook loading error. Okay, I'll just open it up with a new profile itself in that case. Nevertheless, why it is showing me that error? We open up Colab. And let's go further with a new notebook. Okay, so right over here, guys, now there is going to be a main code. Okay, there are multiple different functions. One function will handle how the user one is giving his input. One function will handle how the user two is giving his input. One function will be the AI that you are going to create. That is the computer's code itself. One function is going to check whether somebody has won or not in the game itself. There are going to be multiple functions that we are going to contain. Each of these functions will have its very own utilization, very own things that they are going to do. In a similar manner, guys, the main function, okay, usually the main piece of code which actually runs the entire game for you, okay, which does all the steps. Okay, so do you want to play against a computer? Do you want to play against multiplayer itself? All that particular stuff is something that comes under the main function. Now you can name this particular function as anything. Usually in Python, the most important function, or the first function that is going to be run at any particular point of time, is referred to as the main function. You can call it as Shaurya function. You can call it as Jishnu function. You can call it as Prachi function. You can call it as anything, guys. You can call it as anything. but usually by default, the convention that goes is the first particular function that is going to run inside of your code is going to be called as the main function, guys. So let's create the main function. Creating a function is very simple. We'll first be defining a function. Okay, we will first be defining the function. Then what does this function do? Okay, so def, that means we are defining a function. What is the name of the function? This is a convention, right? Yes, this is again a convention. Okay, so we are defining a function. What is the name of this function? This is the main function for us. Okay, then parenthesis right over here, semicolon, and then whatever code is going to be contained within this within this main function will be intended right over here. If you guys see this, whatever code that you're going to write, it has a specific gap right over here, guys. Usually this gap is given as one tab. That is usually my suggestion to you guys, that you press tab once. That is how much space you want to give. Okay, and whatever code that you're going to put right over here, that will be contained as the definition, that what does this main function actually do. Okay, let us start with right over there, guys. Oh, this is a call as a colon. I'm very sorry if I said semicolon. You have to put a colon right over there. I'm very sorry if I said semicolon. It's a colon that you have to put right over there, guys. Okay, the first thing that we have to take as an input from the user, if you guys remember, is whether he wants to play against a computer or multiplayer. Do you guys remember that? Please let me know. The first particular input that we require from the user is whether he wants to play against a computer, that is, he wants to play single player or multiplayer, guys. So we'll take in the input from the user. So taking up an input in Python is very simple. You just write input and then parenthesis, whatever message that you want to showcase to the user, that what input are we requiring right over here. So enter 1 for a single, I'm not able to see shit right over there, single out PLA player, or 2 for LTI multi PLA player. Okay, a simple message right over here. Now whatever the input is going to come to us, whatever input that the user is going to give, it is going to be either 1 or 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to save this input inside of a variable and call it as choice. So choice is equals to input. Okay, so whatever input that the user is giving to us, that input we are going to save it within choice. Now usually when you use input to take in an input from user, whenever you use this particular function input to take in an input from the user itself, it comes to you as a string, guys. It comes to you as a string. Now, strings are not useful for you. You want integers. For you to be able to process these things properly, you want integers. You don't want your input to come as a string. So even though 1 is coming, it is coming as a string itself. So to convert that string into an integer, what we can do is, you can just write choice. You are going to redefine choice. So CHOIC, choice is equal to the new value of choice is going to be, I'm going to convert this choice into integer. So on the left hand side, you're having choice, that is the variable, that is the box, guys. On the right hand side, you're having choice, this is the value that is contained within choice. That is your string. You're converting that string into an integer. This is how you can convert it into an integer itself. Okay. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. You're converting this choice, that is a string, into an integer, guys. And that is what you're storing inside of this choice as a variable right now. So this choice right now contains either 1 as an integer or 2 as an integer, guys. Okay. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to define a board. Now we are going to delve into the realm of data structures. Now data is all around us. We have learned about the different data types that are contained within Python. It's an integer, float, boolean, strings. All these are different data types that are contained within our Python as a programming language. Now to carry these from one place to another, okay, for example, you are having different shapes. You're having a triangle, you're having a square, you're having a cylinder, you're having a sphere. Different shapes are there in front of you and different quantities of these shapes. If you want to carry them from one place to another, guys, what are you going to do? You're going to take a container, you're going to take a bucket, which is going to store and organize all these different shapes for you. And then you're going to carry it from point A to point B. Am I right or wrong, guys? Am I right or wrong, guys? Please let me know. Am I right or wrong, guys? Please do let me know. If you want to store and use it somewhere else, okay, what are you going to do? You're going to store it, right? You're going to store and organize it inside of buckets. In a similar manner, all these data types that exist inside of Python, if you want to store it, organize it somewhere, you do that inside of data structures, guys. Data structures are basically containers that can help you store and organize data. Now, inside of these structures, guys, the most famous and the most widely used one is called as lists. If you have studied other data types, then you can compare it to arrays in the other data types. Instead of Python, we call it as lists, guys. Okay. Now, this list that we're going to create is the representation, a mathematical representation of our gaming board. Before moving further, guys, I'm able to understand many of you guys are saying that we can do this. Instead of doing this, we can just put int right over here and then put a parenthesis. You can definitely do that. But there are multiple people who are coming to this bootcamp for the very first time. So I want to make it as simple as possible. So I'm dividing it into 2 steps so that they are easily able to understand what we are trying to do. That is the reason why in the first step, we took the input. We understood that this input is going to be a string. So we converted in the next step, we converted that string into an integer so that it is easily able to, like, anybody can understand that. Okay. Okay, so the next thing that is there is we want to give a mathematical representation of our gaming board. Let us see how our gaming board actually looks like. So I'll open a paint right over here, guys. So this is our gaming board, guys. Okay, this is our representation of the gaming board. I've already told you guys this, that I'm now if it is completely empty, just understand this. If it is completely empty right now, I'm going to denote it by zeros. Okay, this is empty, 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 this is empty. That is, there is no zero, there is no x. Okay, so the number 0 can be represented right over here. So I'm going to represent this exact same board as a set of 9 digits. I'm going to represent the exact same board as a set of 9 digits. Because if there is an x, let's assume, if there is an x right over here, guys, okay, in that case, I'm going to represent it by 1. If it is a 0, I'm going to represent it by a -1, guys. Okay, is able to understand this? X is basically us. We want to win. And 0 is basically the computer. That is -1, guys. So if it is an x, I'm going to represent it as 1. If it is a 0, I'm going to represent. I cannot write 0 inside of coding. I need to show a mathematical representation of that. I'm going to call it as -1 and an empty space. An empty space, I'm going to call it as 0. And there's nothing right over there. Now, can I denote a game state in which it is completely empty as 9 zeros, guys? That at the first particular position, there's nothing. Second position, nothing. Third position, nothing. Fourth, nothing. Fifth, nothing. Sixth, nothing. Seventh, nothing. Eight, nothing. Nine, nothing. So as a set of 9 zeros, I can represent a completely empty game state. If I have an x at the 5th particular position, guys, if I have the x right over here, I can represent this as the first particular position 0, second 0, third 0, fourth 0, fifth 1, 6 0, 7 0, 8 0, 9 0. Am I right or wrong, guys? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand? I'm trying to denote the physical game board into a mathematical concept, and this like this list of numbers, as the name suggests, this list of 9 zeros, this list of 9 numbers which represents our game board is called as a list in Python, because we are able to maintain as well as that we are able to store and organize all our data inside of this list. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. So let's create an empty, because in the initial, when the game actually starts, there's nothing inside the board, right? It's completely empty. Let us create our list called as board. B-O-A-R-D, board is equals to a list of 9 zeros, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9 zeros right over here. So the first particular thing is, guys, once you have taken up the choice, you have created the game board, you're going to select, right? If the player has chosen 1, that means he wants to play against a computer. Otherwise, if he has chosen 2, then he wants to play against a particular individual, that is multiplayer. right? That is the first particular thing, guys. The player has to make a decision. He has given you his input, that is 1 or 2. If he has chosen 1, then it is going to play against an AI. But if he has chosen 2, then he is going to play against another player itself. So first we'll make the entire code to play a game against another player. So there's something called as conditional statements inside of every programming language, which basically suggests that if you like this particular video, then subscribe to the channel as well, right? But if you don't like this video, then don't subscribe to the channel. So this is an if-else statement, that if and only if you like something, then only subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, else don't do anything, right? Inside of this, the first particular choice that we are having is if our choice is equals to 1, if this is true, if this particular condition that the choice is equal to 1 is true, only in that particular scenario, run a particular set of code. Okay, run some particular set of code. Code to play, AGAINSTAI. Okay, code to play against AI. Otherwise, what is the other choice, guys? Could you guys please let me know? What is the other choice, guys? Please let me know. First choice is either it is going to be 1, right? That, okay, I want to play against AI. The other choice is, what is the other choice? Can you guys let me know? The only other choice is 2, right? There's no third choice, right? The only other choice is 2, right? So you can do this. You can even write, okay, if else, if choice equals to 2, but that is just, you are expanding the code. The if he has not chosen 1, if choice is not equal to 1, if this is false, if choice is not equal to 1, this code is not going to be run, right? Then else, if it is not equal to 1, then it is equal to 2. Else, run this particular code. Code for multiplayer. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. This particular thing is very important. This is a new thing I'm introducing to you guys called as conditional statements. These conditional statements basically provide you with a condition right over here. They will check if this is true, then and only then this particular code that is under it will be run. If it is not true, then the else statement, that is this particular code, will be run. Okay, great, awesome. See, it is very similar to English. Just read it out loud, you will be able to understand what we are trying to do. It's very similar to English. Python is very easy to understand, guys. Okay, but we don't have to give it a third option, so we don't have to think about it a lot as well. Okay, the first particular thing is, once the entire game is over, the entire game is over, guys. If he chose 1, he played against the AI, the game is over. If he chose 2, then the else statement is run, the game is over. Now we have got the final result, the final board itself, guys. Then what do we need to do right now? Could you guys please let me know? If you have got the final result, the final board after playing the game, what is the first thing that you need to do? Please let me know. Think about it. If you were a program and somebody gave you that, okay, this is the end state of the game, what is your job right now, guys? What is your job right now? Figure out who won. Okay, you need to figure out, right? If somebody told you that, okay, the game is over, you have to see the game, right? Jeeta kaun? Okay, who has won right over here? Is it the player 1? Is it the computer? Is it a draw? Who won right over here, right? So that is what we need to check. Now for that, we have to create a particular function called as analyze board. This analyze board function is going to analyze the board for us and give us an output that did somebody win, did somebody lose, who won, or is it a draw? So this analyze board, guys, ANALYZE, analyze BOARD board. Okay, this will analyze the board for us, guys. This will analyze the board for us. It will go over through the entire board. Now, this board is basically this list, guys. Okay, this list is where it is being updated continuously within the game. That, okay, at X, at the first particular position, it is X. That is 1. At the 9th particular position, it is 0, and so on and so forth, guys. Okay, so this analyze board function, we need to create it first. Okay, let us create this particular function. So def, we'll just copy paste this particular word, guys, because I don't want to make any spelling mistakes. Okay, always make sure, guys, you're not making any kind of spelling mistakes, because that is the one of the most of the reasons why my code does not work. Okay, don't be like me. Always make sure that you're copy pasting words so that you're not making any spelling mistakes at any particular point of time. Now this analyze board function that is there requires the current state of the board, right? It requires the list, board list, for it to work properly. Think about it. How will it be able to tell you that who has won and who has lost if you don't give it a particular list to check? You'll give it on the board, right? This is the current game state of the board. Check and let me know who has won or not, right? Think about it as a small shop. This is a big shop, guys. You own the main function. The analyze board is like a small shop nearby. You're giving it the game state that let me know who has won or not. Okay, so this particular definition of the function requires you to provide it with the current state of the board. Okay, board, board. Again, do not make any spelling mistakes. Okay, now this particular function, what it is going to do is it is going to either check somebody has won or not, or if nobody has won, then it needs to return 0, right? Return 0. That means nobody has won. It's a draw. If somebody has won, if X has won, then it will be 1. If 0 has won, then it will be -1. If nobody has won, then the last particular option is basically 0, right? So we are going to check right over here who won. If nobody wins, if we are not able to understand who has won, then that means it's a draw, right? That means it's a draw. So this analyze board will return, it will give back the answer. So it's like a shop. You're giving it the board, you're giving it the particular list to check like who has won, and will give you back an answer. That's it. It will give you back an answer that, okay, 1, that means X has won. -1, that is 0 has won. 0, that means nobody has won. It's a draw right over there, right? So in a similar manner, guys, this return statement will give back whatever, who has won, or is it a draw or something like that, back to us when we call it. So it's just like Batman. Okay, it's just like this Batman. Currently I'm defining who Batman is. Like Batman is the Dark Knight, the Cape Crusader. He lives in the city called as Gotham. He beats the shit out of criminals itself. Every criminal is afraid of it, but he never kills anybody. He will save you in the midnight, and while leaving, while going away, after saving you, while going away, he will give you a batarang as a gift, okay, to remember him by. But I've just told you about Batman. Okay, I've just told you about Batman. You know who Batman is right now. But if in some dark alley, some criminal is going to beat the shit out of you in the next 5 minutes, even though you know who Batman is, you need to call him so that he is able to come there and help you out. It's not going to happen on its own. I've just told you who Batman is. But if you need his help, you need to call him right over there. So once you call him, he will help you, he will save you, and then he will give you a batarang to remember him by, and then leave. So right now we are just defining what does Batman do? What will he give you back? And then within the particular main function, we are calling that Batman. It is going to give you the gift right over here, what you have said in the early times itself. Okay, now how can we understand who won? What are the different scenarios? How can we understand who won? That is a very important question, guys. Okay, let's try to do that. Now, what are the multiple methods in which somebody can win? Either he gets all the rows, right? That is one of the methods. The next particular method is he gets all the columns, right? He gets all the columns right over here. So 1, 2, 3. Or else the last particular method is by getting the diagonals correct, right? All the diagonals are the same. In that particular way as well, somebody will have one. Who will have one? We'll check that later on. But if all the diagonals, all the values of the diagonals are same, then again somebody would have one. So what are the different values that we have to check? Let's try to understand that. Okay. Oh my God. I'm tired. Especially Sundays, I like to rest a little bit. But today I had 2 classes. Even before this, I had a career guidance session. So it gets very tiring for me on Sundays, especially because every week you want to rest a little bit of one day of the week, right? And then every day you are having your job, every day you have to go to the office or maybe work from home as well, then take up classes. Even on Sundays when you have to do work, it feels as if like, why, God, why? But nevertheless, it's great to meet you guys and interact with you guys. So I feel lucky enough to be in this class. Okay, so let's start with right over here, guys. The first thing that we are able to see is that let's mark down the numbers. Okay, so I have to check the zeroth position. So now, okay, very important, right? Inside of your how can I say this? Inside of your programming, okay, especially Python, Java, JavaScript, most of the programming languages are also referred to as a zeroth indexed language. They are referred to as a zeroth indexed language. That basically means these programming languages actually start counting from zero. They don't start counting from one. For example, when we count, we are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? They'll start counting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are like that. So, for example, think about this particular list that you are able to see in front of you. This list that you are able to see in front of you, guys. Think about it as a housing society. Like, for example, this is a road. Each of these values have its own house. Okay, the first house contains the value 0, the second house contains the value 0, the third house contains the value 0, and so on and so forth. How are you able to identify a house? By its address, right? You're uniquely able to identify a house by its address. In a similar manner, inside of programming, to uniquely identify the values inside of a list, you have something called as indices or indexes. Okay, indexes basically means their address. Where is that particular value stored? Okay, please not. I think so. By using the word address, you guys will confuse it in the future. Do not think about it as address. Think about it as just the value at a place at which the number is stored. Okay, and the first house is called as the zeroth house. This is zero house, house number 0. The second house is called as the house number 1 because again Python starts counting from 0. The first house is counted as the zeroth house. Second house is counted as the first house. Third house will be counted as the second house, and so on and so forth. So the indexes for all these numbers will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Although there are 9 numbers, although there are 9 numbers, 9 places, every place has zeros inside of them, the highest index is actually 8 because we are starting to count from 0. Now, if I want to access a particular location, I want to access this particular value, then I access it by its index. So the name of the list is board, BOARD, board. I'll put up a particular rectangular braces and I'll mention the index right over there. That is the index of 5. So the 5 index is basically denoting the 6th place. Please do remember that. When I'm writing the index 5, because it starts counting its index from 0, I'm actually denoting to the 6th place. The 6th number in the list itself, guys. Okay, so this denotes this particular value. It can be 0, it can be 1, it can be -1. That is totally different. But this particular board 5 will denote the 6th number in the list. Are you guys able to understand this particular concept of indexes? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this particular concept of fifth indexes inside of Python? Now somebody was asking why does this happen? So I don't know that. Guido van Rossum actually created Python. I don't know if he's alive or not. I'm not very sure of it. Somebody can check it on the internet. If he's alive, please ask him. Okay, why is my name Shaurya? I don't know that. My grandparents named me that, so like I will have to ask them why my name is Shaurya. I really don't care about that as well. But most of the programming languages, whether it be C, C++, C Sharp, Java, JavaScript, Python, Brainfuck, Pikachu, all these are zeroth index programming languages. Okay, so yeah, that is important for us to understand. Okay, let's continue with our code, guys. Okay, so now that you have understood this particular indexes and everything, we need to understand how can we check. Okay. If a particular place has a particular value or not. Okay, so like I said, there are three ways in which somebody can win. Either all the rows are the same, all the columns are the same, or the diagonals are the same. Let us put down what are the indexes right over here. So if we see this, okay, can we see the board? How can we see this? Okay, give me a second, guys. We need to come up with a clever solution for this right now. Okay, we'll go further with two-dimensional lists right now. Okay, a new topic. Up till now, we were learning about one-dimensional list in which everything was in just one dimension itself. Okay, just like in one row, all the numbers were there. What if we were able to create a two-dimensional list? For example, the same board can be represented as a two-dimensional list like this, in which we can number each of the rows and columns to identify it uniquely. So this is the zeroth column, this is the first column, this is the second column, these are the indexes of the column, these are the indexes of the rows. So zeroth row, first row, second row. Again, because Python starts counting from zero. So even if you are numbering a particular column or a particular row, you will have to number it according to its indexes itself. Now the first particular, so let me make it a little bit bigger so that it's actually visible to you guys. Because it will not looking great. I think so this is a fine size according to me. Okay, let's recap it. So this particular column, we are going to call it as the zeroth index column. This column, we are going to call it as the first index column. This column, we are going to call as the second index column. Similar to that, this row, we are going to call it as the zeroth index row. This row, we are going to call it as the first index row. And this row, we are going to call it as the second index row, guys. Now, for each and every particular box, using its row number and the column number, can we identify a unique value for, or a unique address for that particular box? Yes, right. The first particular box will be zeroth row and zeroth column. Okay, usually RC, you need to first put the row number and then the column number. This can be identified as zeroth row and the first column. This can be identified as the zeroth row and the second column, right? In a similar manner, this can be identified as this can be identified as the first row and then zeroth column. Can you guys let me know what will be the value of this, guys? What will be the location of this? Can you guys let me know? Look at the not the real, look at me. Okay, look at this particular solution, guys. Look at this particular box and let me know what will be the value, what will be the address, what will be the index of this particular box, guys. Can you guys let me know? Awesome, guys. Everybody is correct. 1,1 is the correct answer to this. Okay, so 1, because the first row and the first column, then this will be first row and the second column. This will be second row and the zeroth column, second row and the first column, and second row and the second column, guys. Every single box can be represented as this. Okay, now if I want to bundle this up together, I want to get, okay, so this particular box right now that is in front of you guys is basically denoting the values that are present right over here. This is the indexes to access. This is the address, guys. Just like a normal list. Just like the one-dimensional list that was there. You want to access a particular box. Its index was 0. Right? If you want to access the value stored in this particular box in two-dimensional list, you will have to access it by 0, 0. Okay. Let's name this as the box CB. Okay. This two-dimensional list, guys. This two-dimensional list, we'll call it as CB, guys. Now, if I want to access the value stored at the zeroth row and the zeroth column, I will write CB, zeroth row and zeroth column. This is how I will be able to access the value that is stored inside of this, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? This is how I will be able to utilize, I will be able to take out, I will be able to see, I will be able to get the value stored at the zeroth index as zeroth row and the zeroth column. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Kanish, man, how are you? So Kanish, one of my friends, as well as One of the best designers that I've ever seen in my life is actually there in the live chat, guys. He's the one who actually designed almost everything that DevTown right now utilizes, as one of the best designers that I've ever seen. So if somebody is interested in something like UI UX or even designing as a career, you guys can put your questions in the live chat. Maybe if Kanish is still around, he will be able to help you guys out with that. It's really amazing to see you, Kanish, right now. I'm in Delhi. So if you're ever near Delhi at some particular point of time, do let me know. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Okay, so let's continue from right over there. Okay, are you guys able to understand this concept? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this concept that okay, CB 0, comma 0 will be able to get the access to the value that is stored inside of the zeroth index and the zeroth column? Yes. Okay, so now the basic first particular question that will arise is what is stored inside of the CB. So CB is going to store for us values of all the indexes. Okay, it is going to be a little bit difficult for you guys to understand. Okay, so we'll stop right over here. I don't want you guys to be burdened on the very first day of the project. And I know there is I promised you guys that today's class will be just about 45 minutes because India Australia match is going on. I really want to see that as well. So stop right over here. I want you guys to analyze everything up till this point of time. I want you guys to come to tomorrow's class. I have not written a lot of code, guys. I have not at all written a lot of code, but at least whatever we have done in today's class, I want you guys to rewrite that on your own and come to tomorrow's class without fail. Nobody should miss out whatever we have done in today's class, guys. Okay. Okay, so median towards what is CB means. So CB is basically your centralized board. I know that is not a very good name that I've created. The reason why I've named it as centralized board, you will be able to understand in tomorrow's class because it basically contains the indexes that you want to access. It's a very complicated thing, guys. CB is a very complicated thing. It's going to take us a little bit time, guys, to understand it. But I want everybody who will be coming to tomorrow's class to be able to understand everything that I've taught in today's class. And so can we set the difficulty level so that we can, then what's the point of creating the AI? And the AI is here to make sure that you are able to lose, right? Okay, so let me provide you guys with the attendance link right now. Again, guys, many of you guys will be, so I have applied for the campus ambassador position. We have started reaching you guys out with your very first task as well. You will be allotted to various different teams, maybe a hiring team, maybe a particular marketing team, maybe you will be allotted to a designing team or maybe the content creation team itself. You'll be allotted a small task. I think so many of you guys must have started getting the task as well. Please make sure that you are able to complete that task as soon as possible because then we'll have to release your offer letter, your internship letter, then your access to the first course as well. So please make sure that you are able to do the task as fast as possible. Some of you guys will be getting the calls in the next few days because almost 1,500 students have applied as a campus ambassador, guys. So we also need some time to reach to every single one of you. So within the next 3 days, I'm expecting that every one of you guys will be able to receive a call. Please make sure that you guys are able to complete the task as soon as possible. It's an internship, proper internship. You're going to get an internship certificate, a letter of recommendation. Every month, you're going to get access to free courses certified by Google, Microsoft, and Amazon separately just for campus ambassadors. We don't give it to anybody else. So do make sure that you guys, like whenever they approach you, make sure that you are able to complete the task as soon as possible. Tomorrow, yes, there will be a lecture. Why will it not be? Okay, lectures are going to be every single day. Okay, so Proximity Pro has already completed the first task. When will the second task be given? Proximity Pro, we don't want to overburden you with tasks at any particular point of time, right? So within the next 15 days, we'll get the second task. We don't see, like I said, during the entire internship, we are not going to give you more than 3 tasks to do. We want to make sure that it's a learning journey for you. We don't want you to work. We want you to learn something. We want you to learn responsibility. And slowly and steadily, if you're doing well right over there, we want to bring some of you guys to leadership positions to handle more campus ambassadors because a lot of students are joining us, right? So first of all, let me provide you guys with today's attendance, guys. Have you played Super Tic Tac Toe? What is Super Tic Tac Toe? I have heard this for the very first task. Somebody from DevTown will be approaching you guys, will be calling you guys to provide you the first task of the campus ambassador, guys. Please make sure that you are able to complete that task properly. what type of task. So that will so when they will be calling you, they will be letting you know the task itself, because even I don't know which particular batch you will be provided with. So different teams will have different tasks. It won't take more than 15 to 20 minutes to complete the task, guys. Please do that. Okay, do not miss up on this particular opportunity. Okay, let me provide you guys with the internship. Give me a second, guys. Creating the internship link. Sorry, the attendance link. Okay, so I provided you guys with the attendance link in the live chat, guys. Please do start filling up the attendance right now. The attendance link will be closed at exactly 9:10, guys. So please complete the same right now. The calls for the internship, that is the campus ambassador internships, will be like, it will take us 2 to 3 days to call you guys, right? Today only some of you guys have received the calls. It will take us 2 to 3 days to call you, so please wait patiently for the same. Okay, and please do fill up your attendance, guys. We'll meet in tomorrow's class and we'll continue from right over there. It was great meeting you guys. Thank you so much, and we'll meet in tomorrow's class. Thank you, guys. Bye, guys. Bye. Bye.